Hello gamers, hello noobs. This is game 12, and with me is the king of the shower gang. Gamer with more than 5,000 games played. When he's Morgana, he's getting on M5. Captain of the nobodies, and my good friend, Morgenstern.
Hello, everyone.
Alright, so this is a normal game. We have, the players are, it's Meme 1.1, Sachin, Voa, Rose, Muchacha, and Vangle Bangle. So this is a game with a lot of cool people. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, hope everyone has fun. Um, Sachin is my teammate. Hope he wins.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So
Yeah, so Sachin with 1.2, he's racing Vangle Bangle kinda. And the M1s are already kinda interesting.
yeah, I agree. And I see Sachin being hammer blocked from Muchacha free. So
He's I can see
that's
why he's off-picking Sachin with Muchacha after 1.2, because Sachin is kinda racing Vangle Bangle with 1.2. He's like on picking Vangle, so he's not getting picked on 1.5. He's not on 1.5 anyway, so this is what this pick is saying. Sachin
yeah,
is
I
not of
agree.
1.5.
I agree. Let's hope they're not spiced together.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. for Vangle Bangle.
Oh yeah.
And she's playing.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Talking about
see.
self-sacrifices. How to not adore this person.
Alright,
Let's
so
see what
Me Man is very happy. Me
is
too.
here.
Yeah, two
Oh,
question marks.
I'm glad they're having fun. Well, let's see what Gora speaks. I'm kind of curious about the upcoming pick because 1.4 is a pick that usually dictates how the entirety of the early game goes.
Yes, 1.4 is usually the most important pick, because
Mm-hmm.
1.4 is, to be frank, the most important seed in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We can easily say that if 1.4 picks correctly, 1.5 is res, and the game is pretty much won. So she's on
Well,
picking Vangle. Yes, she's following 1.2, so I feel like both 1.3 and 1.4 are just following 1.2. So Sachin is pretty much in the center of attention right now. He's been removed from the game, but I feel like everyone is following his info.
maybe. Do you think it means he's a power up?
Well,
He probably is.
it's possible that he even doesn't know that he did that. He might not be
Maybe.
aware of that.
Maybe.
But I think
It's
it's too early to call him a PR. He's definitely looking more PR than VT as of right now.
mm-hmm.
That's
Hard to disagree.
that's mostly because everyone is following his information. But there's also a chance that he's VT with Lucky M1 and every PR is like, let's frame him.
That might be the case. From what we see right now, Banco Banco is likely to be res anyway. Like, if Sachin and Banco Banco are two spies, the game already went somewhat awry.
I feel like picking Sachin from Vangle Bangle's POV, if she wants to accuse to pick Sachin and Glorious, wouldn't be a bad pick. Like, I would even see left hand side and Vangle possible from M1s. Like, a very good M1 pick, because look, 1.1 is off picking Therese if it's
Mm-hmm.
Muchacha and Miman. And, well, let's fucking go.
Well, it's a little bit of a risk, but um, the one who doesn't risk
And
also
look,
does
this
drink
is,
champagne.
yeah,
So
this is an accuse from Voa.
yeah, that's somewhat of a brave pick in a tournament game. So we can safely say that War is
I like this
also.
accuse. I really like this accuse from his POV. Because,
Mm-hmm,
well, this is way better to him because of
mm-hmm.
1.4. It's just like, I'm gonna add myself to 1.4 and let's go. And also, if this fails, then, yeah, it kind of fails.
And it failed, yeah.
I would go
Well,
for
that
left hand side and Vangle Bangle. This is like the M1's team. It should be picked by Vangle Bangle. Unless she what? Pick Meme
mm,
and avoid Sachin. So it's You probably pick Voa because he accused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
A
pretty much.
zigzag, but I would go for left hand side and Vangle if I would be her.
Let's see what she does, because so far I'm completely on the same wave as you. And we see the solo app from Outlaw.
Pick Reg from 3.1. So those picks are usually like I don't want to do much. I can see from his POV because he didn't have 1.5. Like his 1.5 was just following 1.4. So this is pretty much his first pick of his own. And he might be going like, I'm VT, I want to see more. But also, he could be a Morgana who wants to see more. So, and Vangle picks the team. And
And
Vangle picks the
yep,
team.
yep,
Yeah, that's a very good pick from Vangle. I think
I
that
agree.
if this fails, then we can easily accuse him once. And it was clean! And it was
And
clean!
it's clean. It was predictable.
Yeah, it was clean. Very good.
I was just about to ask you what you think about 3.1, because I had,
It's probably Morgana.
yeah, like, he's rejecting the team that doesn't make much
Wait a
sense.
second. Are they...
Uh,
Did it float? Because if this floated, then I'm sheeped. Because I've been thinking about this team since and once.
I agree.
But let's see. I mean, I
Uh,
misclicked. What do you mean? Oh, because Meeman is off. Muchacha isn't saying anything, but Voa is talking with Meeman. So let's see what he says.
Wow. Did this just become a little more spicy? Yeah, it did. Let's see.
Oh, so they're really trying to find, to frame Sach in this game.
Yeah, that's strange.
It doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me as well. Who do you think Merlin is?
Ah, that's a good question. Who's Merlin?
I still think that Sachin is some role in this game. This 1.2 isn't random. I don't think so. Bango might be pretty much whatever, because 3.2 kind of called itself mm, out. Like it was pretty easy to pick as any role.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be speculating about that.
Yeah, to be frank, the 3.2 should be picked by Bangle. This was a very good pick from her POV, the best pick. And if M1s were good, then it's clean. So huge kudos to her. And well, she could be Merlin. To be frank, this game has 5 Merlins on it, four Merlins.
Extremely well done game by Res.
Yeah, definitely. So Meeman, well, Spies this game don't really have anything solid. Maybe besides 3.1, that voice approving it.
Yeah.
While it's a very, it's a strange pick because it just uses everything.
Well, to be completely honest, Two Spies still had the opening of Voa talking about the fallout, and Newman could easily expose it instead of just of picking clean. But yeah,
Oh,
he didn't go for this approach, although it could have spiced game a little bit. As it is, it worked pretty much like Swiss clocks.
hmm.
Everything went from A to B absolutely flawlessly and smooth. Um, as for Merlin candidates, well, I agree with you that there are practically 4 of them. I would say that Goras is the least likely one, though.
To be
Like,
frank, I would go with shooting Sachin here.
maybe. Like, Sachin and War should have a power roll between them, because Sachin picks 1.2, War accuse M1. Like, this accuse isn't that strong, but I don't know, he might be a role. And Wango still might be Merlin, just exploiting
Or
that,
maybe
that
because
everything went smoothly.
this game has been solved by 1.2 pick. Like 1.2 was picked and then everyone followed 1.2.
I agree.
So maybe
So
Rose is like trying to use that, taking 1.4. It's like, oh, I'm gonna follow and make this 1.2 even like louder and follow it again.
do you have an idea who might be his Percival? Is that the case?
Sachin's Percival.
Yeah.
So
Like, is
it's
it?
probably Vaw 1.3. Let's fucking go. 2 Merlins.
Two Merlins.
Or even Vangle, to be frank.
Yeah, I had the idea about Vangle.
So Va off-picks a good M1, and she's picking because Sachin... Glorious would be Confres if it's Vangle to Sachin from 1.2. And it's also racing Vangle, so she would like him. Then this fails, so she knows that Muchacha's team is its right-hand side and Va.
Yeah.
So it would assume that 1.2 is bad on Muchacha's team. Well, she just has to solve in Meme and Va, but 1.4 is kind of cute to her POV, so she just slams the obvious team.
If you were Assassin, you would probably shooting Sachin for having two Percivals, right?
Definitely. I wouldn't shoot Vangle because she did nothing this game. She just slammed clean when it was the... Well, I was even thinking she should be picking clean 2.1, to be frank.
2.1.
Yes, I was talking about adding Sachin, like picking Glorious and Sachin.
Yeah, if it fought, that would be the wise decision to add Sachin. If it fought, it didn't.
Let's see. Meeman trying to, like, because Meeman was in a pretty hopeless situation. I feel like should be picked. Oh, so Meeman thinks that 3.2 should be something different. He thinks that it should have been anti-Meeman and Rose.
Anti-Meeman Rose.
Because of 2.4? Well, people sometimes think that accusing 2.4 means, accusing him 1 or accusing him 1 plus 1. But I don't see any other reason to pick Zigzag.
Hold on, I don't agree with that. I mean, Muchacha just shouldn't be on any 3.2 after he does 3.1. I'm sorry.
Definitely. Yeah,
Like,
he's not.
you can't be inside the team over Glorious.
Yeah, and that's why,
No.
and mostly because he would even get hammer. So if 3.2 is with Muchacha and it fails, then he not only did 3.1, which is kinda PR-ish, but also he gets even more power getting hammer. So that's why I think you should always, if you're 3.2 and someone pick Regis, something that's not viable, you just remove him, and then because he already sounds PR-ish, so he kinda knows what he wants, you make him more res by removing him, checking your options, and then he has hammer if it fails.
Exactly. And like, even if he is a member of the resistance, and even if he is Merlin, the game still isn't lost. So yeah, I agree.
Would Va off-pick Sachin and Muchacha as Percival to them? I want to see his chat. If he said something like, it doesn't seem like a Tourney game. After picking 1.3, he picked 1.3 and then he said it doesn't feel like a Tourney game. So I assume that people in tourneys are like trying to do something like the best they can. So he could be off picking two Merlins and be like, oh, whatever, I'm just playing the game.
Again, I agree with you because I think that off picking two Merlins is actually a little bit underrated of a pick these days because no, I'm actually not going to share it.
So who are they considering? It's two combos, if I'm correct. It's Va to Vang or Va to Sachin. They're not thinking about Glorious Merlin at all. And
Fair
I can
enough.
see why. Yeah, I can see why she didn't do anything. But I think that's her 1.4 is very strong.
I still don't think so because it flows naturally from 1.2, as we already established.
Exactly.
So, so again, we have the same thing as with Vango Bango. She might be a Merlin exploiting that game went absolutely smoothly.
Yeah. Do you find the whole RAS team is exploiting 1.2 this game?
Yeah.
So your player is definitely the star this game.
Oh man. I just hope he's not Merlin. But still. So yeah, if I was assassin, I would be shooting and setting for Boris and Vango might definitely be Merlins, but there's not a lot of reasons to shoot them. So we should hope that one of them is, especially with Boris.
I would like to see who talked to the spies. I feel like Merlin in games like that, he will, when he's talking with Raz, then he will
Mhm.
also try to say something to spies. Just to like not only talk with Raz because I can die for talking to Raz only, and I want to also on Merlin a bit maybe.
I actually think not. I mean, it definitely depends on the player and the personality
Mm-hmm.
behind the nickname, but overall, there are definitely some players who think that if it's not broken, it shouldn't be fixed. Like, if it goes extremely smoothly, why talking to spice?
I can
Like,
see what you mean.
wouldn't you consider it kind of sus by yourself if in a game like this, somebody would suddenly stop talking to spies?
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Neiman is first to say, like, who was the first person to say something? It was of course Fang. A stupid
Hmm.
question. Right hand side is Sachin. Right hand side is Sachin. Now, I was thinking about picking a team, but like, why does he think that Vang should be picking Muchacha? I think this
Yeah.
is the first mistake that he's making.
I also like the energy of the chat in the beginning of the game, like Benko going with her usual signature umbrellas, and then was saying this cute lobby. It sets up some nice energy, and probably it even helped uh, for this game to go so smoothly.
Hmm. Yeah, and a lot of players are playing their first game in this tourney game. It's the first game of Rose, Bangle
Yeah.
Bangle, Neiman, Voa. I don't know if Sachin played already.
Sachin plays his first game as well. Yeah.
Oh, so I feel like every single player here is having their first game.
Yeah, and they all were probably nervous, and they overcame it, and we can only applaud for giving these immaculate performances.
All right, let's was anyone talking to the muchacha? Is muchachas Morgana, so Percival might be like try to probe.
Mm. Yeah.
But Wang is like, does Wang have many Percies? 1.2, I guess, would be a Percival pick to Vangle. 1.3, not really, but maybe. 1.4,
One-
definitely not Percival to Vangle.
1.2 can be definitely a Percival to Wang because,
Yeah.
yes, we established he's probably power row, but it's not guaranteed that he's Merlin. And 1 to being 2 VTs is totally possible, actually.
This game could hold some, like, intricacies, like huge mind games, but I would just go for the simplest solution and shoot Sachin. It could be Vought to Sachin, could be Vang to Sachin,
Hard to disagree.
could be even like Glorious to Sachin, thinking that if he's Morgana, he's off picking. Not alright, never mind. Because then if Sachin would be more of picking Torres, then Vangle would be Assassin of Muchacha.
Yeah, we just established that he has 3 Percivals, 3 potential Percivals, I might add. Yeah, I agree with you. Such it seems the the strongest shot of the game, followed by Vola, followed by Vango, followed by Glorious. That would be my humble ranking. Let's see what spies do.
I mean, if Va is Percival to Sachin, then he's butchering him. 3.1, 1.3.
Maybe he's nervous.
Hmm. Yeah, on vibes, I would kill Void to Sachin. Like, I would remove the combo from possibilities. I just don't think he butchers Merlin that much.
On vibes, you're saying. So it's something that jumps on you, right? Like what such
Vangle to
vibes.
Sachin? Yeah, Vangle to Sachin is a solid combo. You can't really say anything bad about that combo. It's just possible and very
Yeah,
possible today.
yeah. I think
About
I agree that I don't know about vibes, but the most probable combo is probably what such in what history that we are seeing. We see. So,
Void being Merlin and Percival being... Rose is rejecting 3.1. Just two Merlins. If, let's say, Glorious to Muchacha and Void. He's picking Vangle Bangle. That's strange. I can't understand 1.4 at all. Like, it follows 1.2, but I just can't fit any power roll to that pick.
I still see nothing strange with 1.4. I believe that Rose is capable of doing this as a VT.
Yeah, it's a VT
Oh,
pick. It's a very good VT
mm,
pick.
mm-hmm. And games like this, it might very well be Merlin. Extremely well game from Rice.
Honestly, if Wang hadn't said it's 4 a.m. her time, I'd say her chat sounded really bad. It throws a wrench. I like this. Yeah,
All right.
3.1 up is very cute.
So Muchacha wants to shoot Wang, and Beeman thinks that War might be Percival. 3.1 app is so funny and cute. Looks like a Percival to me,
In
but
the
to whom
previous game, by the
says
way,
Beeman.
it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, in the previous game, it was a special, and 3.1 was also pick reached. It was a very similar 3.1. It was also picked by Morgana, also pick reached. It was picked by Ave, and only
Uh-huh.
Percival approved it. It was handshake.
Oh God.
Well, so I'm thinking that maybe because we are in the same scenario, it was again Morgana, it was 3.1, and solo apt. So maybe this is the thing. Maybe he really is Percival. But this just kills Sachin even more. Like, I don't think he's Percival to... Well, he could be
so,
Percival to Vangle. It's possible, but picking 2.4, I didn't... Yeah, picking 2.4 because it's two Merlins, Muchacha and Vangle.
uh-huh.
But if
Yeah,
he's Percival to Sachin, he's murdering him. I kind of don't want this to be true.
I agree. Because whatever it is, whatever the actual combo is, um, 3.1 app is something that um, jumps at you when you see it. Like, it's not a normal. So yeah, it might very well be Percival to Vango, and the spice might be correct with a hunch. What do you think?
Also, to be frank, I honestly don't know if we can find anything new in this game. I would probably should just Sachin. Like I
Mm-hmm,
said, if we would like to go into like very deep thinking, then I would probably should VOD to Vangle Bangle and follow the previous game.
mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why she's solving. I mean, it's 4 a.m. her time. She's probably very tired, and
Yeah,
maybe she just wouldn't be able. She just would be too tired to solve the game as VT.
maybe, but in my own experience, uh, so what's good about Avalon? Usually, it's like football, man. Like uh, two games are never repeating each other, especially one after another, especially in the tournament. So I don't know. I just feel like this is not the same scenario. Let me just vote Sachin. Yeah, that's my final shot.
You know what's funny?
Vote.
Like, yeah, because I'm thinking about that previous game, and I was trying to think because you're saying it's not the same. So I was thinking, who was Merlin last game? Was he picked or not? And I think that Merlin was picked. Yes, it was Doc. Abe was picking Dak and Meyer and Handshake and Pick Regging, and Dak was Merlin. So if the game would really repeat itself, then Glorious would be Merlin.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's see. I mean, I wonder. I wonder if this 3.1 means anything. Maybe not. And I agree with you that games don't really repeat themselves one to one.
Yeah. That's what the most good thing about the game we're playing. And honestly, I want Rose to be Merlin because I don't know, he's never shot. She's never shot.
Yeah, she's never shot.
in my opinion. So if she's Merlin, it's pretty much confirmed win for us. Well, such an advantage like might be not for Nico equity in my opinion, but Van definitely has some percentage going for her.
Spies have a very difficult assassination.
Hard to disagree. Well, that always happens when the Resist's team gives such hard time for Spy team.
Also, the team that's first right now, the Kitty Cats, is let me see. They are assassin. I mean, they Morgana. Muchacha is from the previous meeting already. And the second team, the Spirit of Basim, it's who's playing from his team? It's Voa. So yeah, if Muchacha wins, then Kitties are winning even more. But if Res wins, then the gap gets smaller.
Yeah, and the tournament more exciting.
So, and this is a very hard shot. But they are going for Bang, I think.
Yeah.
Voa to Vangle?
I don't want this to happen. I don't want to see this. If I'm being honest with you.
To be fair, I'm very curious. I would love it to be like Voa to Rose, and two games would pretty much repeat themselves. That would be so funny.
I agree. I think what we both agree is that we want the good guys to win.
The good guys to win.
Just because I don't know, they deserve it.
I mean, if Meeman finds Merlin in such a hard game, then holy smokes, we can't take away the glory from him.
Hard to disagree.
So
yeah,
I think Vo is Percival. Like,
that's
he could be Percival, I guess, to everyone. If you really like think about the game, like he's upping 3.1 because Muchacha is like mortgaged by this pick anyway. If Vangle is picking Vo, then like removing Muchacha is very good, but why not pick anti-Vo Muchacha if you're Vangle Bangle? Right. Maybe because of 1.1 though. Yeah, this is just so like this pick. Meeman is thinking that there should be different picks on 3.2, but I don't think there are different picks on 3.2.
Yes, I said if I was playing by myself, I would go this exact team wholeheartedly myself. There's not that many of alternative options.
So I feel like Spice are going in circles right now. They're saying it's Vang. I don't think they're changing their opinion. They're just trying to find even more and more evidence against Vang.
Pat, what is your stance about should shots be more quickly or more thoroughly thought about it? Like sometimes your first hunch is actually correct. Like if you that someone is Merlin, you go best on him, and sometimes you don't miss Percival. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the first hunch is correct, and when you put your head too much over the game, you start going in circles, you start over analyzing, and sometimes it leads you to a different shot. But sometimes it rewards you, and you find the correct Merlin. So why did I mention all this? What are your stance? Insta shots or 30-minute shots?
Yeah, so you probably hate my answer, but I think it really depends on the game you're playing. So
Fair enough.
if the game was like very long and you played the game, for example, you're Morgana, and you've been like
Hmm.
very calculated about the teams you're pushing, about the people you've unmerlined, and you have like strong reads, then I think you should just follow your hunch because you probably are shooting anyway if you're a good Morgana. But there are also games in which like you can't really be sure. Like people were playing, strangely. Like when you're playing with Armtor, like he can be on your team for the whole time. He can be upping you in crit, and then at Hammer, he can start talking with everyone and pick a completely different team. And you often just insta shoot him for that, and he's fucking VT, and he's a
tell, tell,
fucking
tell,
VT.
tell me about this. Tell me about this.
So yeah, in those games, I think like or in any games in where like there's something unexpected, I think you should treat it as a like
Yeah,
something to analyze to find how did this happen.
yeah, I very much enjoyed your neutral answer. Like, it depends. It can be correct answer. Like, depends on the game, depends on the table, depends on a lot different circumstances around it. So yeah, if it's a game with Arthur, you can't you can't have the luxury of insta shooting.
So they have 5 minutes left. It's been already 25 minutes on the shot.
Yeah, in my experience, actually, never. So at least I don't remember I'm sorry, spy team actually not shooting before before the time runs out. Like, even if it's 1 minute, even if it's 30 seconds, auto shot never was made in my memory. What do you think?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I never saw, at least personally.
Also, the thing
Um,
with stalling is I dislike stalling per se. You can only stall if you like, for example, you're Maryland and you just know that there's fucking nothing I can do. So I'll just stall and pray that maybe
yeah,
someone catches on that there's something wrong, and this is the only way you can win.
yeah,
But other than that, I mean, stalling is because you're just like doing nothing. But if you're not picking and talking with people, then this is the kind of quote unquote stall that I think
hmm,
it's okay. Because it's part of the game, right? To talk with people. Just don't do it for like 20 minutes when people say, bruh, you're out it or something like that.
yeah. Talking about Stone, I have another question. um, what do you think about both games? Have you tried it and have you enjoyed it?
Hmm.
Being under time pressure without having the luxury to stall.
You mean in the tournament? Have I played a tournament game?
Uh, do you enjoy these games if you played them? Yeah,
Yeah, I think I like them a lot because I just happen to have this like try hard mentality. So
yeah,
I play differently because normally when I play, I'm like, fuck it, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. And while I'm in the tourney, then I'm like saying like this has to be what I really think. So I need to like double check. I need to be very solid, and
yeah.
it takes a lot of energy from me. But I think it allows
Mm-hmm.
me to perform way better and enjoy the game more. It's something that can only happen in tourney games.
Yes, yes. Also, it's very satisfying if again your hunch was correct and your um, or your calculation uh, about the correct pick, and you get satisfied. You get rewarded
Oh
by
yeah.
by the win. So yeah, nothing feels better than winning the bullet or a special game. That's for sure.
And then people talk about it, on Discord, and you wonder like, what is their impression of you? Like, oh, he played so good. He's such a good player and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
That's just satisfying.
yeah. The reason why I asked it because like though games are relatively recent introduction to tournaments. I think it was since tournament 5, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of community members are actually very big fans of it. Like they enjoy playing under time pressure. So yeah, a lot of players share the same opinion.
Oh, they are just going in circles. Let's just shoot Wang then. Can we go? Because they've been talking about the same thing for 25 minutes.
We can't blame them. This destination is very hard.
Yep. So let's go. Let's go. How much time do they have left?
Okay, so who is their
2
primary
minutes
shot
left.
again?
They're
They are
shooting
shooting.
Vang. Yep.
They are shooting Vank, yeah.
Vang is going to
I'm kind of
die.
curious to see who is paired myself at the moment. I still bet on
To be
Sachin.
frank, if it's Sachin, then this is such an overthought. I would be more tilted if it would be Sachin and we would miss than if it would be Vangel and we would miss.
Would it be tilted as a spectator or as a
To be frank,
as a
both.
spy? As a spy, yeah.
And as a spy even more, because I was like, I spent 30 minutes thinking about this when the answer was just that simple. It was just that. Why did I
Well,
overthink? You know?
the good news is that we had to a lot of things to discuss.
Last second.
Oh God.
Glorious. That would be memes.
Are we seeing possibly the first auto shot this game? Auto was for spies?
I mean, they
They
never
shoot. No, they're
missed.
shooting. They're shooting. It's not happening.
Oh, of course it was.
It
Of
was
course it
Sachin.
was
Of course it was
Sachin.
Sachin. Look at this. War was a VT. So
That was a VT.
both of us did war a little bit dirty cheap. So yeah, and it's extremely well game, but by all rest, but especially by Wango. Like
Oh my god, so Sachin was
Wango
just
for her time zone being like in 4 AM and picking this.
yeah.
She deserved to win.
Alright,
That's what I
so
think.
this is it, guys. See you next time.